Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are in good health and taking great care of yourself. I am Fatima Kulsawala from Atmiya Green School, Jadeshwar, and I would be teaching you English. So welcome students to our new academic session, that is 2021-22. And from today onwards, we are going to start our online classes in the videos format, and we would be starting with English grammar, that is from your textbook Collins English Grammar, okay, and composition. I hope you all have your textbooks. If you don't have it, please go ahead and buy so that you can refer it properly and understand the chapters easily. And today we would be starting with chapter number 7, that is subject and predicate. I know that you might be having some questions that why we are not starting with chapter number 1, right? But we are going to link this grammar textbook along with our course book. That means कि जो आप course book में पढ़ोगे उसमें जो grammar है unit wise, accordingly we are going to study those topics first from our grammar textbook, and then we would be covering the rest of the topics along with it, okay? So आज हम लोग सबसे पहले पढ़ने वाले हैं subject and predicate, which is already linked up with your unit 1, that is the English exam from the course book, okay? So let's start our chapter, that is subject and predicate, and I request you all students to open page number 28. So here students, we have some sentences over here, you can see, which is there in the textbook. You need to find out कि कौन से group of words है जो sense जिसका कुछ मतलब होता है. You need to tick the group of words that make sense. मतलब वो जब हम बोलते हैं, it does have a complete sense. If it does not have a complete sense, then we are not going to put a tick mark over there. Let's see the first one. Our has 8 solar system planets. Now this sentence, students, does not have a complete sense, right? So we are not going to put a right mark over there. Okay? We live on the planet Earth. Now this sentence has a sense, so we are going to put tick mark over here. Jupiter largest the is planet. Now this sentence is also not having a complete sense, so we are going to put a cross over there. Mercury is the smallest planet. Now this sentence again has some sense. मतलब जब हम बोलते हैं तो वो अरेंज किया हुआ है अच्छी तरह से और उसका मतलब हमें समझ में आता है, राइट? जैसे कि मर्क्यूरी इज़ द स्मॉलेस्ट प्लैनेट, जबकि जुपिटर लार्जेस्ट द इज़ प्लैनेट. ये वाले सेंटेंस के अंदर जो वर्ड्स है उसको अरेंज नहीं किया है जिस तरह से वो अरेंज होना चाहिए, ठीक है? सो a group of word must be in the proper order for it to make a complete sense. So whenever we talk, right, we arrange the words. हम जो भी words use करते हैं sentence में उसको arrange करना पड़ता है एक proper order में, तो ही उस sentence का मतलब समझ में आएगा, ठीक है? Now if you see over here, they have given some more sentences over here. Look at these group of words. The cat on sleeping the sofa is. I the kept in the fridge butter. Now when you read these two sentences, students, आप जब ये दो sentence पढ़ोगे, what do you feel? Does it have any sense? No, it does not have any sense. उसको हमें arrange करना पड़ेगा. जैसे मान लो अगर पहला sentence हमको arrange करना हो तो हम क्या बोलेंगे? The cat is sleeping on the sofa, right? जैसे कि नीचे दिया हुआ है. See, the cat is sleeping on the sofa. ठीक है? सो ये सेंटेंस का मीनिंग हमको समझ में आता है. एंड वाई वी आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट? बिकॉज द सेंटेंस इज हैविंग अ करेक्ट मीनिंग. ओके? सो whenever we arrange the words properly in a proper order, then only you can understand the meaning of that sentence. If you see the second word, second one, I the kept in the fridge butter. Now let's just rearrange the words in this sentence. So what we will say, I kept the butter in the fridge. Now when we are rearranging the words, we make the sentence meaningful. Meaningful means it does have some meaning. ठीक है, जब हम वो सेंटेंस पढ़ते हैं तो हमको समझ में आता है कि वो उधर हम क्या कहना, वो सेंटेंस क्या कहना चाहता है, वो हमको समझ में आता है. ओके, सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड वन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग ओवर हियर स्टूडेंट्स, दैट the group of words needs to be arranged in a proper order. Then only you can understand the meaning of that sentence. Okay, now there is one exercise related to it. Here we need to arrange the following groups of words to form sentence. Okay, यहाँ पर भी सारे words जो है jumbled है. Jumbled मतलब आगे पीछे arrange किए हुए हैं. ठीक है, we need to do one thing over here. First thing, we need to rearrange the words. Second thing, आप जिस letter से अपना sentence start करते हो, it has to be a capital letter. And if the sentence is a normal statement, we are going to put a full stop. और अगर वो question के form में है, then we are going to put a question mark at the end. Okay? So, let's start the exercise. I hope that you understood what we are going to do in this exercise. So let's do that. The first sentence is, I bought yesterday computer new. Okay, so here what are we going to write it? When we rearrange the sentence, we are going to write I. Now I has to be capital because it is the beginning of the sentence. Then bought a new computer yesterday. Okay, I bought a new computer yesterday, and make sure that you are putting a full stop at the end of this sentence. Now let's see the second one. She in school studies St. Peter's. So here they are talking about the girl who is studying in the school named St. Peter's, right? So what are we going to write first? She, लेकिन यहाँ पे she का S capital नहीं है, so we are going to write capital S. I'm going to write from up because the whole sentence is not able to fit in that screen. That's why. She studies in St. Peter's School. Okay, students? I hope you are able to understand. You just need to understand right now. I would be sending you the answers. उसके अंदर से आप देख के लिख सकते हो, ठीक है? Right now we are just going through the exercise and you need to understand it properly. Okay? I funny am book reading A. So here we are going to again arrange it in a proper way. So we are going to write I am reading a funny book. Full stop. Let's see the next one. The fun we on had ride. So here we are going to write we first. We had fun on the ride. Okay. Next one. His Mr. Tendulkar takes for dog. So here students, what are we going to write first? Mr. Tendulkar takes his dog for walk. Full stop. Okay. Mr. Tendulkar takes his dog for walk. Now next one. A dog is in the front yard there. So what would be the rearranged form of sentence? There is a dog in the front yard. Full stop. Okay, so students, let's see the seventh one. Is where do the know post office you. Now students, this is a question. So we are going to form a question over here. And we are going to start with do. Do you know where is the post office? Question mark. Okay. Now let's see the next one. The nuts are squirrels eating. So here students, we are going to write squirrels are eating the nuts. Full stop. Okay. Now let's see the next one. The did tortoise race win the. Now this is again a question. So we are going to write did the tortoise win the race? And here we are going to put a question mark. Okay. Now let's see the last one. Lives in Uncle My London. So here the sentence formed would be my uncle lives in London. Okay. You need to put a full stop over there. Okay. I don't think it is visible, but you have to put a full stop after London. Now this exercise students which we have completed, I am going to send you the PDF for that. Okay, and then you have to copy it down in your textbook itself. ये आपको सिर्फ textbook में ही लिखना है, notebook में नहीं लिखना है. Okay, and this is just a revision because आप लोगों ने आगे rearrange of sentences किया होगा, right? So this was just a revision of what you have already studied in the previous class. And now we are going to start with our main topic, that is subject and predicate. Now students, we have already studied in the previous class that what is sentence normally made up of. Okay, so let's see that. Okay, so students, you need to remember that a sentence is made up of two things. The first one is subject and the second thing is predicate. Okay, we are going to learn these two things in this chapter. What is subject and what is predicate. I hope that you have an idea about it because we have already studied in the previous class. But yes, this chapter is related to these two things. Now, what is the definition of sentence? हम सेंटेंस किसको कहते हैं? अ सेंटेंस इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी अ ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स विच हैज़ कंप्लीट सेंस. कंप्लीट सेंस मतलब जब आप वो ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स को पढ़ते हो, यू कम टू नो वॉट इट इज़ टॉकिंग अबाउट. वो सेंटेंस किस चीज़ के बारे में बात कर रहा है वो हमको समझ में आ जाता है. ठीक है. सो when a group of words make complete sense, then you can call it a sentence. A definition is given over here, students, and you need to remember that all the sentences begins with a capital letter, whether it is noun, pronoun or a verb. But whenever you start a sentence, the first letter of that sentence has to be a capital letter and it ends with the punctuation marks. अभी ये punctuation marks full stop हो सकता है, question mark हो सकता है या फिर exclamation mark भी हो सकता है. Right? This is full stop, this is question mark and this is exclamation mark. Okay? So जब भी आपका sentence ख़त्म होता है, at that time it can have any of these three things depending on the sentence. Okay? So now let's see the group of words given over here. On the beach and my grandfather likes. Now students, when you read this sentence, on the beach, right? It has 2-3 words. That means it has a group of words. But does it have any meaning? Does it make any sense? No, it does not have any sense. So it cannot be considered as a sentence. In the same way, my grandfather likes. Here also students, when you are talking about something, here we have 3 words. But yes, we cannot understand what it is trying to say. So this 3 words which form a group of words, right? But it does not have any sense. These group of words do not make complete sense, but if we add more words to them, then they become meaningful and they form sentences. For example, we built a sand castle on the beach. Now this has a complete sense and so it can be considered as a sentence. Here if you see students, our first letter of the sentence, that is W, right? W is capital because it's a sentence, so we have to start with the capital letter. Okay? And as it is a normal sentence, we are going to end it with a punctuation mark, full stop. In the same way, second sentence, my grandfather likes to read. So here also students, you can see the word my has the letter M, capital, and it ends in the full stop. My grandfather likes to read. So students, I hope that you are clear that what is the definition of sentence, right? The group of words which has complete sense is called sentence, and it starts with a capital letter and it ends with full stop, question mark or exclamation mark. Okay, now as I told you before students that a sentence is divided into 2 parts, subject and predicate. Now what is the subject and what is the predicate? Subject tells us who or what the sentence is about. Subject क्या होता है sentence का? जिसके बारे में बात हो रही है, या फिर sentence का जो remaining portion है वो किसके बारे में बात कर रहा है, that is considered to be a subject. Or the subject can also be the doer of the action. Action का मतलब verbs, right? Sentence में जो verbs होते हैं जो आपको action दिखाते हैं, right? अभी वो action कौन carry out कर रहा है, who is carrying out that action, that can also be the subject of the sentence. Okay, so you need to remember that what is subject in the sentence. Sentence का subject क्या होता है? The one which is being talked about, जिसके बारे में sentence बता रहा है. Okay, that is subject. And what is predicate? The predicate tells us something more about the subject. मतलब सब्जेक्ट को छोड़कर जो बाकी का पोर्शन होता है सेंटेंस के अंदर, राइट, जो सब्जेक्ट के बारे में ही बता रहा है, that portion is called predicate. So students, you need to remember that sentence is divided into two parts. The first one is called subject and the second one is called predicate. And this predicate is again divided into two parts. First one is verb and the second thing is object. Okay, now it's not necessary कि आपको हर सेंटेंस में ऑब्जेक्ट मिलेगा. कुछ सेंटेंस ऐसे भी होंगे जिसमें ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं होता है, ठीक है, लेकिन वर्ब तो रहेगा ही. उसके साथ कॉम्प्लीमेंट ऑफ द वर्ब होता है, मतलब वर्ब के बारे में ज़्यादा बता रहा होता है, या फिर सब्जेक्ट के बारे में ही ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन होती है, तो वहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं होगा. सो यू नीड टू रिमेंबर दिस टू थिंग्स, दैट सब्जेक्ट इज़ द पर्सन अबाउट whom द रेस्ट ऑफ द सेंटेंस इज टॉकिंग अबाउट, या फिर सब्जेक्ट वो भी होता है जो एक्शन कैरी आउट कर रहा है आपके सेंटेंस में. जैसे कि मान लो इफ आई से I read the book, right? Now here who is I? That is reading the book, right? तो यहाँ पे read क्या है आपका? verb है जो एक्शन दिखा रहा है, रीड करना है ना. और वो एक्शन कौन कैरी आउट कर रहा है? I, that means me, I am carrying out that action. So I is your subject. ठीक है. Okay, now let's look at the sentence. The man stood at the gate. To find the subject of the sentence, ask the question who or what to the verb. When you ask who stood at the gate, the answer is the man, and this is the subject. The rest of the sentence is predicate, and here the predicate is stood at the gate. Now if you see the sentence, students, the man stood at the gate. Now you need to find out the verb in the sentence. ठीक है, सेंटेंस का वर्ब कौन सा है? stood, right? stood is the verb, खड़े रहना, right? The man stood at the gate. Now who is carrying out this action? ये जो एक्शन है ऑफ स्टैंडिंग, राइट, ये एक्शन कौन कैरी आउट कर रहा है? हु इज़ कैरिंग आउट दैट एक्शन? दैट एक्शन इज कैरिड आउट बाय द मैन. और जैसे कि मैंने आपको समझाया कि सब्जेक्ट कौन होता है? जो एक्शन कैरी आउट करता है वो, या फिर जिसके बारे में सेंटेंस बात कर रहा है वो, राइट. सो यहाँ पे ये जो मैन है, ही इज स्टैंडिंग एट द गेट. द मैन स्टूड एट द गेट. सो द मैन is our subject because he is carrying out the action. And what is the action, and what is the remaining portion of the sentence? stood at the gate. आपको आपका सब्जेक्ट मिल गया, राइट, द मैन. उसके बाद जो बचा है stood at the gate, वो क्या हो गया आपका? प्रेडिकेट. ठीक है, जो रिमेनिंग पोर्शन बचता है सब्जेक्ट को छोड़ के, उसे हम प्रेडिकेट कहते हैं. और जैसे कि मैंने आपको समझाया, predicate includes the verb and the object of the sentence, and sometimes if it does not have an object, it might have the complement of the verb, or it might be talking more about the subject. We have some more examples over here. The chef is cooking pasta and chicken. So here who is cooking? The chef, right? So the chef is our subject. Is cooking, ये हमारा verb है, और ये एक्शन कौन कैरी आउट कर रहा है? शेफ कर रहा है. द प्रिजनर वॉज जेल्ड फॉर 10 years. वॉज जेल्ड, हु वॉज जेल्ड? द प्रिजनर. सो प्रिजनर इज द सब्जेक्ट, एंड द रिमेनिंग पोर्शन इज योर प्रेडिकेट. टॉम हैंक्स इज अ वेल नोन कैरेक्टर. नाउ योर स्टूडेंट्स, वी डोंट हैव एन एक्शन वर्ड. इस जो है वो वर्ब ही है हमारा, लेकिन वो एक्शन वर्ड नहीं है, ठीक है. बट इसके बारे में ज़्यादा बता रहा है सेंटेंस। किसके बारे में ज़्यादा बता रहा है? टॉम हैंक्स के बारे में। हु इज़ टॉम हैंक्स? ही इज़ अ वेल नोन कैरेक्टर। सो ओवर हियर इन दिस सेंटेंस यू कैन सी कि जो प्रेडिकेट है हमारा वो सब्जेक्ट के बारे में ज़्यादा बता रहा है। ठीक है, द कार इज़ ड्राइविंग एट ग्रेट स्पीड। ओके, सो हियर इज़ बीइंग ड्रिवन होना चाहिए एक्चुअली, ये गलत है यहाँ पे, बिकॉज द कार कैन नॉट ड्राइव बाई इट सेल्फ, राइट। तो यहाँ पे सेंटेंस गलत है, लेकिन अगर हम सब्जेक्ट प्रेडिकेट में डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारा कार जो है वो सब्जेक्ट रहेगा एंड द रिमेनिंग पोर्शन वुड बी अवर प्रेडिकेट। ओके, सो द सब्जेक्ट यूजुअली कम्स बिफोर द प्रेडिकेट बट समटाइम्स इट मे कम आफ्टर द प्रेडिकेट। मतलब इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि आपका सेंटेंस हमेशा सब्जेक्ट से ही स्टार्ट हो। समटाइम इट इज़ पॉसिबल कि आपका प्रेडिकेट पहले होगा और सब्जेक्ट बाद में। जैसे कि यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल दिया हुआ है, अंडर द टेबल ले अ बुक। ओके, सो यहाँ पे टेबल के नीचे क्या है? अ बुक। सो हियर अ बुक इज द सब्जेक्ट। Okay, so here students, under the table lay a book. What is lying under the table? A book, right? So we are talking about the book which is laying under the table. So यहाँ पे जो हमारा subject है a book, it is behind and under the table lay. That is our predicate which is in the beginning of the sentence. Okay? So here the subject is a book while the predicate is lay under the table. So students, I hope that you understood what is subject and predicate, right? And here there is an exercise related to it. You need to circle the subject and underline the predicate in the following sentence. So here students, there is an exercise given जिसके अंदर आपको subject के ऊपर circle करना है और प्रेडिकेट के ऊपर अंडरलाइन करना है. सो दिस इज़ द होमवर्क फॉर यू. We would be doing this exercise in the next video and we would be checking the answers at that time. So students, please carry out this exercise by yourself and make sure you use pencil so that if there is any mistake you can change it. Okay, thank you.